Martin. It was a great book because he had 3 of his students who I went to a cemetery with who actually wrote the entire book because they were astronomers. John Fanning, Dan McConaughey, and John Schoenheit, not Schoenheit, Dan McConaughey, Fanning, and Peter Berniger wrote the book, and he became famous for it. Well, he had to come up with another one, The Temples Jerusalem Forgot. And this whole book is about this thick, and it's all based on, because there are still stones left on top of another, this couldn't have been the Temple Mount. No, you idiot. This is a retaining wall. It's a retaining wall. So he comes up with this whole thing that this was just a platform for the Romans. Right. And that over here someplace where there's not one block left, nothing left, that's where the temple really was. Because there can't be any evidence that the temple is ever there. That's his position. Yeah. Okay. So I say, how about Philadelphia? There's no proof the temple is ever there. Let's try Philadelphia. Where are these stones that would have had to build a retaining wall for something down here? There's nothing. There's nothing there. It's a fairy tale, and the book is like this thick, and it's pure nonsense. Anyway, what you're looking at is a retaining wall. What you're looking at are the walls that were collapsed and thrown down, and right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the place of the trumpeting. Right there, you got the trumpeter. This very corner was up there, and this is where they sounded the trumpets and the shofars for the Sabbath, for all of the feasts. It's also a very important place because it was on this corner up here that on the 14th day of the month that they put 2 loaves of bread up on the railing. Huge loaves of bread. This was leavened bread. On the 14th, when they took the first one down, that meant no more consumption of leavened bread at that point. When they took the second one down, that's when all leaven has to be incinerated and completely gone. And this was on the 14th. Not on the 13th. This is on the day the Passover lambs were sacrificed. So it's a day of work. It's a day that we get that done. But that was the symbol for the entire city. So when they saw this happen, the first one is taken down, again, then the word spreads. Everyone hears, what do we do at the shuk now? It's like what is it, a whistle? I can't remember. No,
this is a siren.
A siren goes off, that, okay, we're gonna shut this place down. We're coming up on the Sabbath. So there's intermediate warnings that go on. And so, this was the thing. When they took that loaf off, that was the first siren, so to speak. Now the word spreads throughout the city. The second one goes down, now all leaven is gone. This is very important for us to understand concerning the timing in the gospel record of the Last Supper and when Passover was. See, the Last Supper was the night before. At the end of the 13th, it's now the 14th, and Yeshua has at the Last Supper leavened bread. He has artos, not azamon, but artos. Because until the next day, until these loaves are taken down, you could still consume, and then you finally got rid of all of that. So right here is the place of the trumpeting, and on the day of trumpets, particularly,
you can see the writing right there.
Yeah, right here's the writing. Yeah. Now this, right here. So
new moons announced there too.
That's right. That's right. That's why the trumpet is blown, and then the signal fire is lit over on the Mount of Olives, and that started the chain throughout the whole land of Israel.
So the last trumpet.
And the last trumpet. That's right. That's right. Any questions?
Is this right here? This is the 2 witnesses.
The witnesses were brought up to the temple mount. Exactly what gate they came in, I don't know. How that was done. But we're going to be in this area a little bit later, which is on the other side of the the wall, also called the Wailing Wall by some. But we're going to be in, and we're going to go the full length all the way up to the fortress.
Excuse me, sorry.
And we're actually going to be, tomorrow, we're going to be in the dungeon, Pilate's dungeon tomorrow. Okay? Friday, thank you. We're going to be there. Now, I want to point out something else. This is Solomon's porch here. When we read in the book of Acts about Solomon's porch, about the believers getting together, and this is in the end of the book of Luke, the beginning of the book of Acts, also written by Luke. It says that they were in the temple daily, praising God. This is after the ascension and before Shavuot. That they were continually in the temple. Where were they? Getting together in Solomon's porch. See, in the wintertime, you would want to be down below where you're shielded from this breeze. But in the summertime, such as we're not even at Shavuot, you can imagine when that sun starts beating on you, you want to be up where the air is going to be blowing through there, and that's where you see all the pillars, which we didn't point out, but I mean there are pillars all over this place. Broken pillars you can see in the wall, you can see ends of pillars that were cut and put in to fill it, you know, as far as just stones and all. These are the pillars, some of them were the pillars from Solomon's porch. Now this shows it all blocked in, but you know this area, many of the renditions show it all open so the breeze would go through, and so this is where people hung out. This is where you would congregate. You know, everyone coming up from the Galilee, from Nazareth area, okay, let's get together at the southeast corner of Solomon's porch, and then we'll all go over into the temple proper together. You know, this is where you met. This is where things happened here. This is inside of this gate right here, inside of here, this is the wall where no Gentiles were allowed to go in this middle wall of partition, which is not described either in the first temple and not described as part of the tabernacle in the wilderness, this middle wall of partition. This was a man-made invention.
Is that considered the upper room then, that area there?
No, an upper room is a townhouse.
Townhouse, okay.
Okay, it's a shop and you have apartments up above it, okay? Thousands and thousands. An upper room is just an upper room. The place that's called the upper room up here, yeah, it's modern. It's a modern enclave over there, okay? Even David's tomb down below it isn't David's tomb. It's like, well, what is this? Probably some Arab's tomb. But
That's your word, hockey body?
But is that where they received the Holy Spirit? Is that where they would have been?
They would have been in the temple, exactly where they'd been rehearsing this for 1,000 years.
So they would not on the portico, but actually in the temple?
On the level, on the plaza.
Right. Not in Solomon's porch. On the day of Shavuot, they were all down here for the festivities. Okay? So this whole thing, it's a whole Catholic concept of this upper room, holy room. They were on the temple. They were in the house, the Beit Hamadan. They were not in somebody's bedroom. You know, this is where the apostles lived. The women were not even there. Women don't sleep with the men. I mean, you know, it's a men, it's a townhouse, it's an upper room in it. There's not even a bathroom there. There's no running water. You have to go on down the street to a Roman facility, to a toilet in the city streets. And we're going to see some of these Roman toilets. As a matter of fact, in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, there are people over there kissing a Roman toilet seat right now because they were told this is where Jesus' feet were put in chain. Okay? And every place else in Israel, it's a Roman toilet seat, but this is where Jesus' feet were chained. Okay? You can imagine the priests for the first 100 years of that joke were in the back room roaring with laughter. Okay, finally they had to put a glass case over it so people quit kissing this Roman toilet seat. But we're so thankful that they're all over there. That leaves this great archaeological site to just us. I mean, see all the tour. There are hundreds of thousands of people touring Israel. It's like, this is great. Love it. Okay, Itzik, I'm turning this thing off. Any more questions? Start for me. I'll let our Hebrew expert tell you exactly what it says.
Okay, what about these kind of tunnels or caves right here?
Itzik, go ahead. Take off.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's start with this corner.